Three, two, one. Hello, I'm Clever Pigeon. This is Rain World. It's a survival platformer. I'm recording this video for the purposes of general marathon submission. And I wanted to do this specifically because Rain World in its normal state would be particularly marathon unsafe. It's very RNG heavy. There are a lot of things that could not go your way luck-wise with all of the creature placement in the big sprawling world it has, and it's very easy to die at the drop of a hat. So I'm playing with dev tools at the moment, and I'll be submitting with those. They'll just help me get out of an emergency in a pinch, and in the event that I do die, it will also make it a lot quicker and easier to get back to where I was and continue on with the run. So this category is Pebbles %, which means you visit one of the main characters of the game called 5 Pebbles. Any % requires you to do a skip, because you're supposed to meet 5 Pebbles in order to complete the game, but this category is almost a no major glitches version of it's almost no major skips, let's call it that. Anyway, to restart, and time will begin when this circle fills up to completion. Right, so you can see I already did a strat there. I held down the S key, that skips the intro cutscene loading, which saved a few seconds over just having it load and then skipping it manually. This is a short tutorial section of the game. You play as this slug cat. He has been separated from his family during one of the many rainstorms that occur in this world, and your job is to find them. So movement, as you can see, involves sliding, rolling, jumping, backflipping. I'd rather like to see a spear, but it hasn't turned up. That's fine. We're gonna hop off and eat. We need to eat to survive. And we want 5 food pips. 4 is enough, but 5 is what we need for a glitch that I am about to do once we hibernate. We're just going to go to the nearest shelter. Which is up here. Right. Now Slugcat will burrow down, hibernate. Now what I'm going to do is immediately hibernate again to begin the process of a glitch known as karma caching. So you can see that symbol down on the bottom left. It also appeared on the hibernation screen. That's your karma. You need certain levels of it to get to different places in the game. I'm going to build that up by abusing the fact that this game has a starvation mechanic, which allows you to hibernate if you don't have enough food that you would need to normally sleep. In that case, the game normally saves, but if you quit out within 30 seconds, the game doesn't register you as having died, so it keeps the karma that you've built up during your starvation sleep, which allows us to raise our karma very quickly without going and gathering more food. We're now at karma level 4, which is what we need to progress through the rest of the game. The little dots are the rain timer. at the end of every cycle there is a very heavy rainstorm that will kill you if you don't hibernate to get out of its way. You need a certain cycle length for this category so that you can actually make it where you need to go. I'm going to try and play this safe. Wait for him to come about, and then just... So you've now seen, I believe, green and pink lizards. The green ones are slow, but they're strong and brutish. And they're quite difficult to kill. Not that we'll really be killing them in this. The pink ones are smaller and weaker, but they can climb the poles that you see. There are other types of lizard that we'll be seeing in this journey. Our first mission in this category is to go and get a white squid carder. Those are black squid carders there, but the white ones are... I'll use you to fly over. The white ones are stronger, essentially. That was really nice RNG. They get tired less often, which means it's just quite a lot easier to get where you need to go with them. They help us float and jump higher. They make our sort of falling floatier. They're very useful for upward movement. And since the first leg of our journey involves going almost as high as we can go, it's very handy. This is our first karma gate. I needed 3 karma to pass through there, and I've built up 4, so we're fine. That area was called the outskirts. That's where you start. We're now moving on to the next area of the game, known as the industrial complex, which isn't a massive difference from the outskirts, but it does introduce some new creatures to deal with. Which hopefully won't cause a huge issue. Well, there's the first one. Come on. Oh, you're going the other way now? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you planning? Okay. Well, we'll do that. That's a blue lizard. It can climb the background. And it's also got a little sticky tongue with which it can... Get off. With which it can get you. That was me using the dev tools. I held the V key to teleport Slugcat to the location of my mouse, because otherwise I probably would have died, and that it's not worth it in a marathon. I've now got possibly 2 of them following me. No, they appear to have stopped. Go up. I can make a little jump over that lower bit of the gap, but it's quite a bit harder. That's a white lizard. They have the ability to use camouflage. They also have a really long sticky tongue that they can grab you with. I don't like them, needless to say. So the enemies that you find in each sort of area are fairly consistent with where they are. Let me through, come on. The squid carder makes this difficult sometimes. But they have their own fully functional AI, so they can move about while you're not with them, which can result in some interesting things to deal with once you do encounter them. So you saw the white lizard when I first met it was in an unhelpful place. We're now leaving the industrial complex and going upwards to the chimney canopy. It's one of the higher areas in the game. and it's the penultimate stop off. No, third to last stop off. It's the third out of 5 areas we'll be visiting on our first trip upwards. By the way, the thing you saw in one of those rooms is called a vulture. The bird-looking thing. They're not great. Thankfully, I was in a place it couldn't reach, so that was helpful. Just gonna be safe there and duck along. I apologise if you can hear scampering sounds. My cat is running across my desk. That's a white lizard. And that's hiding there now. And there's a decent chance it will try to get me. Which I really don't want. I may have to aggravate it and then try to make it move. Come on, buddy. Come on. Okay, there's a blue one coming through. That pipe does not go where I thought it went. Okay. And I'm just going to crawl along here, and it's probably going to follow me, so I need to get out of the way. That's the rain timer flashing, signalling that we're halfway through. That's fine at this stage, that's fine. There's a pink lizard. That one's more red, but it's still a pink lizard. There's a blue lizard. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go down. Oh, I fell down. Oh, that's wonderful. Truly. Okay. Oh, now it's going to follow me? What are you doing? I don't know. Let's go backwards. So you have to deal with these things sometimes in Rain World. There are scavengers. They can attack me. I'm hoping that they aren't aggressive enough to do so, because their aggression varies a decent amount. Sometimes they're just that aggressive and they'll kill you. That's fine. What I'm gonna do is get my karma back up to level 4, and then I'll just use the teleport to mouse function to zip my way around each room to get back to where we were. Sort of a mixed thing that happened, because I didn't really want to die, but at the same time it shows you my plan for a backup, which is handy. Makes things a bit easier. Where is it? There, come with me. So I'm just moving my mouse around. I don't think it's capturing an OBS, but I'm just holding my mouse where I want Slugcat to go, and he is going there. I'm going to pause and wait here, because the next area doesn't actually load until a certain point in this animation sequence. And if you go through the other entrance at the wrong time, you can soft lock the game. Slugcat just won't come back and won't go anywhere. It has happened to me before. Not in a run, but I don't want it to happen in a run, so I'm just going to play it safe and nice with the karma gates there. Whoa. Okay. Oh, another one? Anything here? This So yeah, there was nothing I could really do about that scavenger being where it was and as aggressive as it was, unfortunately. Such is the nature of this game. Oh, hit the roof really hard. I don't actually know the length of this cycle. It's a pretty long one. Okay. They complicate things. I'll put myself up there without being stuck between it and continue. Okay. There's a decent chance to be... Oh, hello. Uh-oh. Do that? Nope. Okay. I was hoping it would move, but it didn't move. Not necessarily a bad thing to be cautious, given the nature of the game. Oh, the music's changed. That signifies that a vulture is coming. There's a white lizard. The white lizard is now following me through the pipe. This is one of the popular convergence spots for lizards. Made it through just before the white lizard had a go. And came out the other side. So I'm just going to climb this bit. This is one of the more open spaces. There might be lizards at various points throughout it. So you've got to be careful. And also there might be a vulture at some point. Like that. Oh, two. This is grand. So they might follow me. But with any luck, I'll be able to outpace them. I mean, I should be able to outpace them. Or they will just give up and ignore me. Decide I'm not that interesting. This is what slide jumping is like with the squid carder. It's a lot floatier, but it's still... and a bit harder as well, but it's still faster than that. Sometimes the squid carder's hitbox can suck you up through the top one. You want to go through the bottom one. So that's the Karma 4 gate. And now we're heading into our longest and highest climb upwards. This is the wall. And in the game world, this is the outer... well, it's the outer hull, essentially, of the character 5 Pebbles' massive computer system. So, I mean, technically we're crawling all over 5 Pebbles, and we kind of have been for the entirety of the game thus far. It's all his sort of land. Now there's one enemy here that I'm really trying to keep an eye out for. It's called a dropwig. I hate it very much because it's very scary. It's not there, is it? No. No, it's not. I would have preferred it to be there, to be honest. Oh, see ya. It's not there, right? I can't see it, but I feel like being safe. It's a bit hard to tell at this point, so... Dropwigs hide on ceilings and then they jump down at you. It's really not fun it makes me jump every time. So that's why I'm particularly going out of my way to avoid it, because I personally don't like them. They might still be up here though, so what can you do? There are also likely to be a number of white lizards here. Oh, there goes the dropwig. They got disturbed by that. That's an orange lizard. We probably won't be seeing much of them. Oh, hello. I think that's the leader of the orange lizards. Orange lizards are unique in that they communicate in packs. They work in teams to get you. And one of them's a leader, and they can sort of direct each other via the antennae on their head. Right, the room coming up is an important room because it's likely that there will be a large number of white lizards in there just waiting for me. They like to hang out here, but if I can make it through here, we have a decent shot at making it to the top. Oh, there's another one. I didn't see him. So we're mostly in the clear, but there might still be some dangers, like white lizards. Climb up here. Get through. Come on. Okay. We'll play it your way. Toddle along. There's a lizard hiding at the end there. Hello. I can see you. Alright, I have to figure out a way to get him to not be a problem. I don't know whether that involves baiting him and then crawling down the other end. What I suspect I might do is... Hello, come on. This. And now he's following me. But I should be able to outrun it. Now, I could hope for good RNG here, but what I'm going to do is let the squid carder go and grab a spear. The squid carder's now stuck above the clouds and will remain here. Well, I suppose it can fly off and fly under the clouds if it's still got time, but it's going to be hanging around here quite far away from home. This is the top of the wall, we're above the clouds, so the rain cycle doesn't actually matter at this point. It didn't technically matter a few rooms ago. Like in the room with the lots of lizards, that was where it stopped mattering essentially. But here you can rest easily because you don't have to deal with all the lizards and the enemy and such. Well, I don't like to call them enemies, they're hostile creatures. They're trying to survive in the same way as you. Anyway, I've got this spear because I'm going to do something that I call spear skip up here. In the sort of canon or story route of this game, you actually come down this wall instead of up it. Nice. But if we use this spear and a precise roll jump, we can climb up and come the other way. Oh. I'm going to grab that. What you'll start to see here is the power of throwing things that you've got in your hands. A squid carder takes 2 hands to hold, so I couldn't really do it earlier. But if you throw things in the air, you actually get a little speed boost in the direction that you throw them. I'm now going to keep stuff, because it will be very useful to throw things in a moment. Trying to get those backflips so I can roll, get through there slightly faster. Game's very lenient. At this point you can get through either side of this on the lowest level of karma. We're now in the region 5 Pebbles. So there's a sort of 5 Pebbles character who looks a bit like a person, but the entire being 5 Pebbles is a sentient supercomputer who we've been crawling around this entire time now. We're entering him the way you'd normally leave his superstructure. Through the access shaft, as he calls it. Okay, gonna line myself up here. I don't want to try and scoot along. Get in here. You'll notice the gravity's gone down. This next bit isn't 0 gravity. There's a lot more 0 gravity inside the rest of the 5 Pebbles region, but since we're at the end of it, we're not going to be seeing a massive amount. I'm throwing things to make sure I go speedy. Oh, no. We're going this way. Okay, sometimes he doesn't grab very well. That's 5 Pebbles. He's going to give us something, and because we've got a preloaded save file in which the hardest difficulty has met him, we don't have to watch a giant cutscene. He's given us that mark, and then we can just quit out, because that saves immediately, regardless of watching or hibernation. You don't have to watch him talk. So we've now got this mark, and you'll see we've got a very different karma symbol. The fact that we quit out means that it's counted as a death, but we now have 10 karma symbols. We're on the 9th one because of that death, due to exiting out of 5 Pebbles' chamber. Oh dear. Fell down here. Now we're going down. First to an area called the drainage system, then into the filtration system, and then to a place called the depths, which is the last portion of the game. You'll notice that when I quit out, I respawned in the shelter that I was in. That's because that's the only shelter I'd slept in. And it was the last shelter I'd slept in, obviously. That's where I got put back after quitting out, or as the game reads it, dying. That's a pole plant. It can eat you. It pulls you into the ground. It fakes you out by looking like a pole. Don't believe his lies. This section of the game, from respawning back at the shelter onwards, is actually fairly similar to any percent, but any percent has a load dependent skip that it relies on, so that you don't have to visit 5 Pebbles and get more karma. So because it's load time dependent, this category has a possibility of being better for marathons unless I get a chance to actually learn the load times of the system I'm playing on. But it also just shows off a bit more of the game, so what's not to like? I really like something to throw around here. No. Okay. I should have picked one up in the last room. Okay, I made the jump anyway. That jump can be finicky without something to throw to boost you over it a little bit. I'll pick up a spear for safety. Those lizards tend to emerge from there. Oh, okay, nope, we're live. Okay, no worries. Emergency backup plan. I tried to make that jump, but for some reason I didn't actually get the jump. I thought I had done it properly. Guess not. On we go. That's a salamander. It's a lizard that's particularly adept at moving in water. We try to avoid it because it hangs out around that room. The drainage system, as you might have guessed by its name, has quite a bit of water in it. This isn't even the most water-filled part. Thankfully, we don't have to go through the most water-filled part. We still do have to contend with it, though. I didn't enter that pipe the right way round. Those are little leeches. If you fall in, they'll grab you, they'll all gang up on you and push you to the bottom, and you'll drown. So we avoid them, naturally. I mean, falling in the water anyway is not great there, but falling in the water with a decent chance to die is worse. You'll notice I've been doing these little boosts. You can kick off corners in pipes and you get those small boosts. Oh. Okay. I'll take a safety swim upwards to regain my breath. You can also do little kicks or little strokes in the water to swim faster, but it decreases the amount of breath you have left by quite a bit, so only really when you need to. Got to be careful with it. Up next is a bit with a lot of wall jumping, which is harder than it looks. Oh, never mind. We'll try and get the rolls on the next bit. Alright, down here you can see that red thing a bit. It's getting darker, but that's monster kelp. It also eats you, but it's not quite as crafty as the pole plant. It is, however, more tricky to avoid. Now this portion of the game is very, very dark. I've actually changed my monitor settings to accommodate for it. This places the filtration system, which is a sub-region of a larger area called subterranean, which is all underground. There are lizards in here that are blind, but are very good at navigating by feel, and there are a bunch of them, often in close proximity to each other. There are also some creepy spider things, which appear sometimes. I mean, they're always around, but they're not as likely to show up as the lizards. Now I can hear something. What helps with the lizards is that... Oh, I walked by accident. Let me walk back upwards. because I messed that up. I'm a bit behind because warping is tough. I'm in the wrong pipe. Oh dear, this has gone a bit pear-shaped. I'm sorry. Hit the warp key by accident. It's right next to all the action keys. Right, no problem. When the black lizards or the mole lizards hear something, their heads light up. So you can see they're all around here. Uh-oh. I messed that up. Is it going to climb up, or... No, it's going to hide. And then turn around. And then I'm going to dodge my way through. Okay, that wasn't too bad, aside from my mistake. Alright. Now that we're through most of the filtration system, we're going to go even deeper to the depths, like I mentioned. This is a one-way trip, so once I fall down here, I'm not coming back up. The only way out is to die or beat the game. And now we're in the depths. It is very dark here, which is why I changed my monitor settings. Just helps me see that bit more easily. Hold on, I'll get that. Just for safety. You really want a spear here. In fact, you need a spear here for a jump later on. Hold on. Let me get the cool thing. You get that little slow motion thing that puts you back at 10 karma, but you can abuse it to do a nice big jump to grab that pole, which I thought I'd go back and show off because everyone loves the cool stuff in a marathon, right? Got a little jump up there past this statue. This is perhaps the point in the game when you realise, hold on, I didn't realise we were getting into ancient religion in the journey of a slug cat finding its family. Well, the ending of this game is, how do I put it best? Quite out of left field. It's not what you're expecting at the start, to say the least. And you can see all those sort of weird screen effects, and a bit of slow motion is starting to creep in. Back into the dark we go for a bit. Now this is where we would perform the skip known as Guardian Skip or Guardian Removal Skip, but we don't need to do that since we've got the karma we need. I'm going to play it safe. You can do a nice backflip jump to do that in one, but if you miss and throw your spear too high, you aren't getting it back. So these things stop you from going any further, or at least try to, if you have under 10 karma, if you haven't unlocked the sort of karma cross symbol that you can see I'm on at the moment, and that's on their heads. But if you have, they just let you pass right through. I got knocked out from that fall, but that's quite common. The effects are getting even weirder at this point. The slow motion is more pronounced. And we're in the, I call this place the Depths Caves. It's a point where the movement is relatively simple, but it can also be somewhat complex because you're relying a lot on throwing and catching things for small time saves via boosts in the air. And depending on how good your throwing skills are, it can be quite something. So there's not a huge amount of time variance necessarily compared to other things like enemy luck, but it can still have an effect. So I'm trying to throw things. And throwing things has an even more pronounced effect in the slow motion effect that the game's gone into. I'm also going to roll jump where I can, because that helps. I think I'm holding one thing at the moment. That was the second thing to pick up, but I didn't notice in time. Oh. Climb up there. Alright, what I really want to do here is now keep anything I can pick up for use later. I've got two things in my hands. So now, during this last room is a fall downwards again, so throwing stuff doesn't do too much. Here, because you can only throw left and right. I'm going to use it to get a bit of an extra boost in here, and the effect gets way stronger as well. So I throw that, get that nice jump. Right, I should warn at this point the game is going to get quite loud, and it's going to switch between being loud and quiet quite rapidly in the minutes to come. I'll try to explain this as I do it. We're now entering a place called the Void Sea. It's really weird. It's going to get weirder. I'm swimming and I'm timing my strokes very carefully, because too fast and you'll sort of linger and you won't be able to move very quickly for a good few seconds. But too slow and obviously you could be going faster. And you don't drown in the Void Sea, so you can swim as fast as you like without worrying. It's hard to time because the slow motion effect lessens slowly. We get into this bit of Void Sea, it gets even louder. And we meet the void worms. Ah yes, that reminds me. We want good RNG from the void worms, which is that we get pushed downwards by them a lot, because we're trying to swim downwards as quickly as we can. It can make all the difference in a tightly optimized run. Like if you get a lot of worms pushing you upwards, then that can be a decent amount of time loss. But I got 2 or 3 worms pushing me down for quite a long time, so I'm alright. You'll notice I'm sort of zigzagging as I swim. Imagine like an eel swimming. That helps the little sideways boost. You swim faster than just swimming straight in a direction. Really loud noise again, and we meet a void worm up close. It's going to inspect us for a minute. People have different strategies. I just sit still, and eventually it will come in and jab us with some string, and now it's taken us on the ride of a lifetime, and it's going to be pretty loud. Yeah. This is just a cutscene, there's not really much I can do here. To a stop, hopefully. Oh yeah, it pulled me back. Eventually it lets you go, and then you just start swimming. It's gonna be loud, just give it a minute. Okay, that wasn't that bad. It will get loud again though. So we're sort of swimming through this bottom of the ocean. Of the void sea, and you can start to see at the bottom right there's a light fading in, and there are a number of copies of yourself that start to join you in your journey through this strange place. You can see I'm alternating between swimming diagonally downwards and straight to the right, just to get that bit of speed boost that you would from swimming in a zigzag style. By the way, it's going to get loud again as I approach the light. And time will be when the screen fades to black after it fades to white when I touch the light. And time. Excellent. I mean, that's not bad considering I played it pretty safe and had to deal with a death at some point because of the scavengers. You get this very pretty, lovely little cutscene. I won't reveal what happens. I was thinking about it, but I won't reveal what this actually means. In a marathon setting, I would obviously encourage people to play this game for themselves. It's a fantastic casual experience. The way it sort of grows into something much bigger than just looking for your family. Isn't it cute? I'll leave you to find sort of exactly what this means for yourself. But suffice to say, that's the end of the game. Thank you very much for watching. That's been, I mean, me, Clever Pigeon. It says it that way in the bottom right. The credits will just play. I'll hit escape and go back to the start. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this demo thing. Thanks for considering Rainworld, whatever marathon I end up submitting this to. Because I've recorded this in the hopes that it will be useful for multiple marathons. Not that I don't, love you all so much. But thanks for considering this. It's a unique speed game, and it's a unique marathon experience, but with the dev tools as a sort of assist I feel like it could still provide an entertaining experience watching Slugcat roll and slide and jump about to get to where he needs to go. Thanks again. Bye.